Good afternoon, students. In this class, let us understand about the sparger, which comes under paper, bioprocess, and environmental biotechnology. What is the significance of sparger? There are so many other uses of this particular sparger. Previous class, we already understood about what is the sparger and what are the different types of sparger. Okay, let us understand and focus more in detail on this particular significance of sparger. Before that, let us also understand what is a sparger and what is the purpose of this. A sparger in bioreactor is a crucial component designed to introduce gases or maybe gas bubbles, typically air or oxygen, that is for the aerobic organisms or to culture the aerobic microorganisms where that is in the liquid medium, right? So what is a sparger? A sparger in a bioreactor is a crucial component, a device which is designed to introduce gases, typically air or oxygen. And this is specially meant for aerobic microorganisms during aerobic culture, where that is in the liquid medium. It's usually located at the bottom of the bioreactor vessel. When you see the bioreactor vessel, bottom of the bioreactor, you could see the presence of sparger. Now let us understand what are the primary functions of a sparger. The primary functions of a sparger mainly are oxygen transfer, mixing, and carbon dioxide stripping. Okay. So this is the fermenter vessel. This is the tabletop laboratory fermenter vessel. Inside there'll be a impellers will be there. Okay. And at the bottom, there'll be the presence of the spargers will be there. And this is the outlet. Okay. We can see many different types of outlet and inlet pipes can be observed. So this is the glass bioreactor. And this is the top view of the bioreactor where you could see different probes, that is pH probe, okay, and acid base reservoirs, and the culture inoculum probe, and also the uh, culture medium probe for temperature regulation will be there. Antifoaming agent regulation will be there. So all this inlet pipe can be observed in this particular fermenter vessel. Now let us understand in detail about the uh, functions of a sparger. As I told, first that is the primary function of the sparger is oxygen transfer, right? This particular oxygen transfer providing sufficient oxygen to the microorganisms or cells for respiration and growth, especially in submerged cultures. There is no oxygen. What happens? Aerobic organisms are unable to grow. That's why the oxygen supply is continuously provided in the bioreactor, which is very, very important. That is possible to sparger. The main function of the sparger in the bioreactor that is meant for oxygen transfer. The next keyword for using this particular bioreactor sparger is that mixing. The rising gas bubbles contribute to the mixing of the culture medium, ensuring a more homogeneous distribution of nutrients, temperature, and dissolved oxygen. So all nutrients, temperature, and the dissolved oxygen all must be supplied uniformly in the bioreactor fermenter vessel. That's why this particular sparger, which is responsible also for the mixing along with oxygen transfer. And the third primary function of the sparger is carbon dioxide stripping. That is nothing but takeoff or maybe removal. In some cases, sparging can also help remove carbon dioxide, which is a byproduct of cellular metabolism that can inhibit growth and high concentrations. So this particular sparger is also responsible for the removal of the carbon dioxide. I hope you remember this one. The main primary functions of the sparger are oxygen transfer, mixing, carbon dioxide removal. Okay. Let us also go through here different variety of design of a sparger, which is be used in the different fermenter vessel, maybe a tabletop fermenter vessel, or maybe a larger vessel. These particular spargers will be used. So this is the horizontal circular disc. On top of that, there'll be a vertical pipes will be there. Where this is the gas inlet. Okay, the quite size also vary. So you can see this is the ring. On top of the ring, there are minute holes. Okay, through that minute holes, gas bubbles or air bubbles will be sent with the proper pressure. And this is the multiple orifice nozzle. Even this will be used. Gas inlet will be happening here, and from this, the air bubbles will release. And this is another one, that is spider type sparger. There are several different nowadays variety of spargers are available based on the product to be obtained by the fermenter vessel and what kind of organisms you are using. Based on that, these particular spargers are chosen for the fermenter vessel. Okay, now let us understand the types of sparger. There are various sparger designs exist, each producing different bubble sizes and flow patterns, which in turn affect oxygen transfer efficiently and mixing. The main type of this particular spargers include porous spargers, orifice spargers, nozzle spargers, ring spargers, microbubble spargers, and jet spargers, also combined sparger. Okay, from the examination point of view, if you write any three, that is more than enough. Our definition and the functions and types, which are more important. So far what we went through the definition of the sparger, then primary function of the sparger, and this is the types of the sparger. Okay, let us understand one by one about this particular sparger types. The first one, porous spargers, which is made from materials like sintered glass filters, ceramics, or metals with the small pores will be there. Through those pores, the air bubbles will release. These create fine uniform bubbles with a large surface area for efficient gas transfer, especially in smaller bioreactors or non-agitated vessels. However, they can be prone to clogging by microbial growth. So this is about the porous sparger. So you can see here the porous sparger, which is basically made up of sintered glass. You can see here they are sending the oxygen. So gas bubbles are releasing from this particular porous metal sparger. Okay, this will be used in the brewing industry. Here you can make out, see how the gas bubbles are released in the fermenter vessel. Okay, so at the bottom there will be a disc will be there. To this different types of spargers will be fixed. So this is the one example, that is the porous sparger. Let us go through the next one, that is orifice spargers. This consists of perforated pipes. The erected pipes can be seen from the top, from the disc of that particular spargers. Pipes, that is nothing but in the form of rings or maybe a crosses or tubes with drilled holes can be observed, usually placed below the impeller in stilled bioreactors. They produce larger bubbles compared to porous spargers and are often used in conjunction with the agitation to break the bubbles down and improve the gas dispersion. Okay, so this is about the orifice sparger. So you can make out here different types of spargers can be observed. So this is the one of the sparger that will be fixed. So you can make out these are the holes that will be present, and here also needle sparger from the top plate. Very minute air bubbles will be released. You can make out here also the gas bubbles are released. The erected pipes, they are using the pipes. Okay, so the different types of sparger. Next one is nozzle spargers. These are simple, open or partially closed pipes, often used in large-scale bioreactors. They typically generate the largest bubbles and rely heavily on agitation for proper gas distribution. Okay, this is nozzle spargers. Next one is ring spargers. A ring-shaped pipe with multiple orifices positioned at the bottom of the vessel. So that is the ring spargers. Next one, micro bubble spargers, specifically designed to generate very small bubbles, that is micro bubbles, to maximize oxygen transfer efficiency, often used in high density cell cultures. Okay, and these can be made from specialized porous materials or membrane based systems. And apart from this, also we have jet spargers. Use nozzles to inject gas at a high velocity into the liquid. Okay, the last one is combined sparger agitator. That is combined sparger agitator. In some small fermenter, the spargers and the agitator functions can be integrated into a single unit. That is known as the combined spargers. I hope you understood about all the different types of the spargers. So far, we went through about all the spargers, like first one, that is the porous spargers, orifice spargers, nozzle spargers, ring spargers, microbubble, jet, and combined spargers. So these are the different types of spargers you can keep in your mind. List all the types of spargers and explain any two spargers, that is more than enough. Now let us understand about design considerations for spargers. The choice and design of a sparger depend on several factors, including scale of the bioreactor. That is, larger bioreactors often require more robust sparging system, okay, to obtain a very good yield and also the product. Type of microorganisms or cells being cultured, okay. Apart from the scale up of the bioreactor, this also depends upon the what kind of microorganisms you are used. Based on that also one can decide about the design of the impellers and also about the spargers. That is, different organisms have varying oxygen requirements and sensitivity to share stress, okay. Microspargers producing fine bubbles can enhance oxygen transfer but might also increase shear stress. Apart from that, the next consideration is rheology. That is nothing but the flow of liquids of the culture medium. As our fermentation culture medium is highly viscous, to send the gas bubbles from the bottom of the sparger vessel, these spargers should be sent with a high pressure, okay. Flow of liquids of the culture medium also matters here. In this case, viscous media can affect bubble size and raise velocity and gas transfer. So when the person is designing these kind of spargers, one has to think about, or they will keep in their mind about the scale of the bioreactor, then what type of organisms used during the fermentation, and flow of liquids of the culture medium. Apart from that, agitation system. The impeller design and speed significantly influence gas dispersion and bubble breakup. Okay, this matters. Then gas flow rate and pressure. These parameters affect bubble size and the overall gas transfer rate. So this is about the design consideration of the spargers. Next one, the sterilization requirements. That is, the sparger material and design must withstand sterilization procedure, for example, autoclaving. It means most of the spargers are reusable, that can be sterilized and can be used for the next experiment. Prevention of foaming. Some sparger designs and high gas flow rates can lead to excessive foaming, which needs to be controlled. Okay, this is very, very important. And the foamings can be controlled by using the anti-foaming agents. The goal of sparger design is to achieve efficient oxygen transfer to the culture while minimizing the shear stress and ensuring proper mixing throughout the bioreactor vessel. This is very important significance of the sparger. The interaction between the sparger and the impeller is particularly important for achieving these objects in stirred tank bioreactors. Okay, as we say, the stirred tank fermenter, which is one of the most typical bioreactor, where you could see the presence of the spargers at the bottom and impellers in the center. Both impellers and the sparger, which play a very important role during the aerobic respiration and obtain the aerobic microorganisms product. So this is all about the sparger. I hope I made this particular significance of sparger content useful. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching.